not far from the truck. Ow. Thorn in my arm. I just bumped into one of them little mayhaw plants. See the little bit of blood coming up. I just grazed at one of these right here. These thorns on them are bad. It's a limb. I just lightly bumped it. I left my snake boots at home. I'm having to, I gotta help one of Chris's neighbors today. I've gotta go meet him. Had some other stuff going on and I just stopped it. I got a message. From one of our sisters here, Martha, and many of you, if not all of you, know Martha Turner. An amazing woman. But Martha and Dee, that is Mrs. Lady in the Woods, are they are as close as two people can be without literally being related. They're extremely close to one another. And guys, I'm doing this right now. I'm adding it. We're going to share some articles today while I'm here. But I decided to add this to the articles because when we throw up a help video, we normally get just a couple hundred views on it. There's a lot of people that just, for some reason, they're not interested in helping anyone, and they're not going to look at any video that's, trying to get someone else some help. They're more interested in the fun and fascinating stuff. So I'm adding this to this video so that more people can see it. But I have not spoken with Dee. It hasn't been long at all that I received the message from Martha. It's been, 45 minutes ago maybe. But I have a lot going on today that I'm trying to get took care of before the storms get here. And I got the message from her and I couldn't just stop where I was at and I've filmed this. I had planned on doing the articles today anyway. I said, well, I'll just, on the way to Mr. Mark's place to help him, I got to see what all is entailed with helping him. I'm not sure what all he's got going on. But anyhow, I postponed that long enough for me to come over here and do this so that I can get this put together and get it uploaded. But our sister Dee, a lady in the woods, her husband Denny, he's not on the YouTube shows. Dee does a lot of the live shows. She did, and she's just, hard times have struck her, just like they have all of us. She's gotten a double dose. And if you ever wonder why some people, the good people that you know, are being attacked in such horrible ways, it's because they're fulfilling the will that God's put in them. And the enemy, Satan, is trying to shut them down. He doesn't want them to keep going because they are doing the good works of the Lord, and the enemy will attack you every time. If you're not having any hardships and no hard times falling upon you, I would absolutely recommend you look in the mirror and figure out why. But guys, anyhow, Danny is in the hospital. It's looking like he's had a stroke. It's not looking good. And folks, Dee hasn't been out begging people. She's a very proud woman. She's proud of her family. She's proud of her and her husband and, what all they've accomplished. But right now they are in dire need of help. They're in need of prayers and financial help. I'm going to try to get, I just seen this up here. It's a wad. Oh, the camera aimed wrong. But anyhow, I'm going to try to get their information, Dee's. I think I have her PayPal. But you guys, if you'd like to help, I mean, they don't have food in the house. I mean, they are in a bad way right now. The enemy has absolutely piled it on them. And now, Dee's husband, Denny, he's in the hospital with having a stroke. Guys, they need help. Please pray on it. If you have it to spare, you know, for those that are spending money on soda pops and, you know, beer and just all the fun stuff, just make a sacrifice. Skip today's beer and send a little bit their way, please, just to help them out. They absolutely need it, and definitely, if you don't have it, there's no way possible, send some prayers out. Pray for Dee and pray for Denny. They need it. They need it just incredibly bad. They're wonderful people. And, you know, Dee is there. She does, you know, prays for people. She does the prayer request also, and she does it her style, the way that she's comfortable doing it. But she has never turned anyone down who's needed help. You know, Dee's always been there. If they're able to do it, she absolutely comes through with flying colors. She is a true daughter of Christ. You know, we are to be Christ-like. We all are the bride of Christ. So please help them out. Help our sister out if you can. You know, we help a lot of people here. We get the message out. And Kim and I have tried to send what we could to help people, and we have. We've sent quite a lot out through the last, I guess, 5 or 6 years. We've sent. It's been a pile of money, you know, for us. It's not much for a lot of people, but it's been a pile for us. 2 occasions we sent everything that we had left, with the exception of the $5 minimum we have to leave in the bank so our account doesn't get closed. Guys, I'm trying to find somewhere to sit down. We're going to do the articles. Please bear with me. If it upsets you that I'm doing a prayer request and a call out for help for our sister Dee and her husband Denny, our brother, then you're in the wrong place. This channel is not for you. We're not a community here at Standing Goats Rescue. We are a family. And we treat all of those around us as family, whether we know them or not. It's who we are and it's what we do. And there's nobody that's going to interfere with that and cause us to stop what we're doing. I'm trying to find somewhere to sit down, you guys. I guess I could go up there and get in that tree stand, but no, I don't have my safety harness. I'm not doing that. And the creek is flowing really heavy too today. Maybe I can get over here and sit down. It's really beautiful right there if I can get over to it. I can't get in the water because I'm not prepared for it. That's a bird. It's really humid out today. Sort of nasty. But that's going to change this afternoon when the storms get here again. Sounded like a limb break. I push on. Trying to be a little bit loud in case there's any wildlife over here. They'll hear me and move. It just makes me nervous being in here. These palmettos are what makes it kind of scary because there's so much different wildlife that beds up in this stuff. Make sure there's no snakes. This right here is a deer trail. These deer, the tree my stand is in is right through here. It's right there. And these deer have been crossing here. I have not hunted that stand at all. And this is where the deer, see where they got the ground kind of beat down right there. And then over here, it's where the deer are coming out. They're crossing this trail here. And here's a, I think it's a type of tupelo. Look at the hair. They got it wrapped right there around the, see where this little limb right here comes down? It's wrapped right there. Look at that. And that feels like silk. It's really, really, that's soft. Like real soft. It's got a little bit of a smell to it. It's not bad. I want to get down right there. That's the game trail. See if I can do this. This is where the deer are coming up. See where they got it beat down right there? Ooh, I almost went down. It's all deer tracks in there. See where they're traveling down this side right here? There's a spring right there coming out of the wall. It's kind of slippery. Oh. That spring back there is flowing pretty hard. Beautiful. I don't like this area. It's beautiful. I mean, looking at it, it's amazing, but it doesn't feel real good. Spider web out of here. There we go. All right. Trying to find me a spot to set. I'm not going to get my backside flooded. God, I wish I brought my boots. Look how pretty it is right there. Alright, you guys, I am going to set the camera up. There's a big old buck rub. There's two of them right here on this point. These last two little trees are really worked over. And you can see there's a cut going up the embankment with the deer climbing up it right there too. Alright, give me just a second and I'm going to mount this camera somewhere. I guess I can sit on the bank. I'll get a little wet, but it'll be alright. That's so pretty. I'd like to get up in it right now. Alright, we are going to get onto these articles. I don't like this spot. I'm sorry. I really don't like this spot. Alright, you guys, this right here, this was a breakdown of M.K. Davis when he done his examination of the Patterson-Gimlin film. And this is where M.K. explains his findings on it. And then we got a few we're going to go over today. A few more fascinating articles. Thank you, Brother Don. And if you guys didn't hear it in the last articles that I've shared, Brother Don is going to be uploading the pictures to the articles and many other pictures that a lot of them that you guys have never seen before. He's going to be putting that stuff together and sharing it on his channel. I will have the link to Brother Don Moore's channel in the description below this video. Please jump over and check him out. Check out the the pictures that he's uploaded, and he's doing it in a video format. He's putting some music in the background, and he's putting the explanation on each picture what it is. And he's doing such an amazing job for a man that's got maybe an hour total video editing time right now. He's doing an amazing job. Guys, here we go. We're going to start. This is titled Restoring the Patterson-Gimlin Bigfoot Film. New details emerge, M.K. Davis explains. The year is 1967 in Bluff Creek, California. The information source is a mid-2000s interview with Bigfoot researcher and astronomer M.K. Davis. M.K. Davis says, I got into the Patterson film through astronomy and astrophotography. In astrophotography, you try to rescue old photos and their faint detail. Many times the photos will be way below the threshold of visibility. You take time exposures and try to get them into frame and enhance them, make them stand out. You pick up contrast and stand out contrast. The only thing is, when I first ran this little clip for the first time, I realized that what I was looking at was most likely real, and it was a profound moment. I thought about Patterson because he did not have this photo enhancement available to him, and he got called a charlatan and other things. He made a few dollars out of it, but not nearly what it was worth. Poor guy. What awaits other Bigfoot investigators out there who fail to get at least 30 minutes of valuable footage? If they get less than a minute of film, then is it worth it? Is it worth trying to say, I filmed Bigfoot, when there's a stigma attached to it? I've wrestled with the idea so much. I wrestled with the idea so much on what this thing is that I'm tired out with it. I don't know what it is. I thought maybe it was an ape. I thought maybe it was a person. I don't know. What I do know is that it is not a man in a suit. It's a legend. She, Patty, takes a total of 4 steps without looking at the ground, so she's obviously mapped out the ground pretty good. If you notice her size changes in 13 seconds of film, she becomes half as big walking away at about a 45-degree angle. She is covering some ground fast. I don't know what the stride distance is between steps, but she is moving fast. I went back into this area, Bluff Creek, and it's not easy to get to, and as a matter of fact, it's not accessible at all for a few months out of the year. It's buried in a snowpack. The roads there required my vehicle to push snow out of the way in March. The snow was 3 feet deep. You couldn't even get, you couldn't even get close to where the original film location was, so it was a very remote area. Only a dedicated person would go into this area and spend time, not a casual sightseer. This is why the Bigfoot are in there. They are alone for many months out of the year, and only a few people go in there in the better months. Guys, I've got a lot of sounds around me right now. As far as if the government is interested in the restored film I've done, I don't know. I don't know why they would be. If better versions came out and the government thought it would do some kind of harm to the public, then maybe they would be interested. If it caused problems with the timber industry, then maybe. I really don't see that happening because the timber industry has worked around problems like that before. Obviously, these Bigfoot can live around logging operations because they are seen around there. Endangered species. They haven't been able to catch one, so why would it be an endangered species? Something unusual happened here under unusual circumstances. The 2 men were on horseback in an area where tracks had already been seen before. The Bigfoot disappeared out of this area of Bluff Creek around 1964 after a major flood, so for 3 years until '67, no one, not even the Forest Service, had seen any Bigfoot tracks. but tracks did reappear there in 1967. Patterson was called to investigate after he had just got back from Mount St. Helens and he was tired, but he packed up his things and he went down there. Tracks were first seen on Onion Mountain, which is close to Bluff Creek and up on a hill. They had to put a water tower on the summit of Onion Mountain for new roads they were constructing. The tracks were underneath this water tower. And nearby Bluff Creek had a history of tracks, so Patterson went down and rode Bluff Creek on horseback to look for tracks for his new documentary. Most of the film footage he already had for his film was just stock footage of woodsy background. Then he came across the creature on the other side of a fallen tree. Since they were on horseback, their human scent was masked by the horses, which helped them get their film footage of this creature, which is only about 1 minute of the creature walking away. Bob Gimlin, the other guy with the gun, later reflected that if he had shot this creature, it was not known what would have happened with the other Bigfoot around. He knew there was another set of tracks there, and Patterson jumped off his horse afoot and was unarmed, trying to film. Bob Gimlin stated if he had shot the creature and it didn't go down, Patterson would have been on his own. It was like winning the lottery that day against the chances and odds of ever winning the lottery. Patterson won the lottery that day. Check out M.K. Davis's excellent restored version of the Patterson-Gimlin Bigfoot film with its enhanced clarity and frame-by-frame comparison. You'll agree, whatever was caught on film that day remains a mystery that rules out a guy on stilts in a wide 7-foot-tall monkey suit with a huge conical head, a leg injury, and female breasts. And that's the end of that article. Guys, I've got a lot of activity around me. I've got the wireless mic on me right now, so I seriously doubt that it's going to pick it up. What I may do when I leave out of here, I may disconnect the wireless mic because that camera picks up everything when the mic's not connected. Getting really nervous. And yes, I always get nervous. I'm not a Bigfoot guy. For those of you that are here new, I am not into looking for Bigfoot. Alright, this one here is a little long, and I'm not going to be able to show the photos because I don't think they're going to show real good. I'm under the canopy and it's pretty dark. I may try. I'm getting really spooked. Let's go. I'm going to keep pushing forward until something happens that I have to leave. All right. This is titled Historical Giants in Wisconsin, Real or a Hoax? The year is 1912, May 4th. The location is Delavan, Wisconsin, which is Walworth County, Community Park, Lake Lawn Resort, and Assembly Park near Delavan Lake. The information source is the New York Times of May 4th, 1912. Archaeological dig finds by Beloit College in 1912, findings of the Phillips brothers in 1911, and current statements by college professor and the Historical Society of Wisconsin. The preface reads, it is claimed by current Professor Bill Green, a leading anthropologist at Beloit College, and officials of the Historical Society of Wisconsin, that the supposed 1912 dig site survey done by Beloit College and the subsequent discovery of giant skeletons at the burial mounds around Delavan Lake are total fabrications by conspiracy theorists, and that no records, either written or by photograph, exist to verify this archaeological dig. He dares anyone to present evidence to the contrary. He also claims the article is a hoax sent to the New York Times newspaper in 1912 by conspiracy theorists of that time. What are the facts? The fact is, when checking the New York Times newspaper articles from May 4th, 1912, the giant skeletons found in Wisconsin article is certainly there, and it's there for all to read. Whether conspiracy theorists existed at a high level back in 1912, enough to fabricate a story and send it to the New York Times, that will have to be decided by the listener. It's one of those things that can be claimed but not proven and is meant to hide the truth. The fact is, no one has ever come forth who lived in 1912 or the many decades after claiming they hoaxed the whole thing. It's a fact, evidence in the way of photographs, skeletal remains, and written survey records can easily be taken or confiscated and then hidden or destroyed. It's happened many times before. Let the listener decide after hearing the evidence. Strange skeletons found. Indications that tribe hitherto unknown once lived in Wisconsin. Special to the New York Times. Madison, Wisconsin, May 3rd. The discovery of several skeletons of human beings while excavating a mound at Lake Delavan indicates that a heretofore unknown race of men once inhabited southern Wisconsin. Information of the discovery was brought to Madison today by Maurice Morrissey of Delavan, who came here to attend a meeting of the Republican State Central Committee. Curator Charles E. Brown of the State Historical Museum will investigate the discoveries within a few days. Upon opening one large mound at Lake Fawn Farm, 18 skeletons were discovered by the Phillips brothers. The heads, presumably those of men, are much larger. Heads. I'm sorry. The heads. Oh, my Lord. I apologize. The heads, presumably those of men, are much larger than the heads of any race which inhabit America today. From directly over the eye sockets to the head slope, From directly over the eye sockets, the head slopes straight back and the nasal bones protrude far above the cheekbones. The jaw bones are long and pointed, bearing a minute resemblance to the head of a monkey. The teeth in the front of the jaw are regular molars. There were also found in the mounds the skeletons, presumably of women, which had smaller heads but were similar in facial characteristics. The skeletons were embedded in charcoal and covered over with layers of packed clay to shed water from the sepulture. So what are we to think of this existing newspaper article? Is it real, or is it fabricated by hoaxers in 1912? Delavan Lake is located a short distance northwest of Chicago, Illinois, in the Geneva Lakes area. The mounds are located in Community Park, Assembly Park, and Lake Lawn Resort. Archaeological records confirm that 65 mounds existed as of 1926. An estimate suggests that as many as 100 mounds might have stood on these watery shores. It's hard to know how many former mounds were lost to public record, but it seems more existed back in 1886 when official records or surveys were done. They are in different effigy shapes: birds, turtles, serpent, circular, and conical. Many mounds were disturbed by relic hunters over the years. Current Historical Society officials say the burial graves are over 700 years old, but they may be much older if you want to be honest. It is a true fact that at Lake Lawn Resort, which was owned by the Phillips brothers in 1911, they dug into several mounds in March of 1911. It is alleged they found human skeletons ranging from 10 to 12 feet tall. Their skulls, according to local legend, were equally enormous. Supposedly, the Phillips brothers did not mention these unusual skeletons in their official report to the Wisconsin Archaeological Society. Nevertheless, the rumored discovery made it all the way to the New York Times. Since then, researchers have offered a $500 reward to anyone who can provide photographic evidence of the dig. No photographs have ever surfaced. Some believe they have been hidden away or destroyed, and others believe the whole story to be a hoax. It was said these skeletons had 6 fingers on each hand and 6 toes on each foot, just like the Bible verse of 2 Samuel 21:20 that reads, "Yet again there was a war at Gath, where there was a man of great stature who had 6 fingers on each hand and 6 toes on each foot. 24 in number, and he also was born to the giant. In fact, at Samuel 2, at 2 Samuel 21 verses 16 to 22, and the First Chronicles 20 verses 4 to 8, it speaks of several wars with a family of Philistine giants, who included, number 1, the giant brother of Goliath named Lami, who had a spear shaft the size of a weaver's beam. Number 2, a giant son named Ishbibanob, the weight of his bronze spear being 300 shekels, which is around 8 pounds, and he was wearing a new sword. He thought he could kill David in revenge for killing his father Goliath. Number 3, a giant son named Saph, or Sippai. Number 4, a giant son unnamed with 6 fingers on each hand and 6 toes on each foot, and of great stature. All of these giants were killed by David and his men in various wars. At every giant burial site in America that was dug up, the same thing always happened. Local officials from the State Historical Society would take the giant bones, never talk about them again, and either hide them or destroy them. If real, was this race descendant from or linked to the former Nephilim race of giants, who were the offspring of the union of fallen angels and the human women? Were these a race of Bigfoot, alien hybrids, or the giant spoke about in American Native Indian oral history? If this was all a hoax, then are the American Native Indian tribes lying when their oral histories tell of giant races that they traded with and fought against? And for example, the red-haired giants that lived in a cave out west that they set their cave opening on fire. If the physical skeletons either are still hidden away or have been destroyed, we may never know for sure, but it's very interesting nonetheless. Guys, I'm going to try to show these pictures to you. And then I'm going to ease out of here because I'm getting really creeped out. I've got a lot of sound all around me. Oh, that hurt my backside. Ooh, got a bruise sitting on a root, I believe. Let me set this down right here. All right, I'm going to try to show these pictures. All right, this is the Indian mounds in Delavan, Wisconsin, where the dig took place. Here's an aerial view of mounds and effigies of birds, turtles, serpents, circular and conical. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this picture here. Maybe Brother Don put these in a video. Most of these pictures I get, he prints off, and he's got the digital version, which is a lot clearer than the printings. Here's a drawing of the men trading gifts with the giants, the native giants. It's just a drawing, artist rendering of the giants of the day. Here's an x-ray of a giant's 6-fingered hand. And I think I've seen this x-ray before. If this is the one I've seen, it is a real x-ray. And I think the guy's was in Sweden or France. I don't remember, don't quote me on that. How'd you like to have 6 fingers and 6 toes? It'd be more nails to clip. All right. Let me get this stuff together. Yeah, this area is not, I don't like it here, right here where I'm at. I should have stayed up there, went to the part of the creek that's near the trail. Ow, crud. Hey guys, let me get the camera off. I hope the camera doesn't fall off. That is so pretty. I kept seeing fish out the side of my peripheral vision. I kept seeing fish when I was reading. That's why I looked into the water a few times. I don't know if you could, let me see if I can zoom in right there. I don't know how far it's gonna let me zoom. Oh, there we go. There's water coming out of the ground up there. Way up, right there, but off a little further than what you can see. You may be able to see it right there, right through that little opening. Quite a bit of water right there. I'm getting out of here. Guys, I'm really creeped out. There's a shadow over there. I'm almost 100% positive it's just pareidolia. But it looks like a face. And I'm not interested in that at all. See how to get out of here now. Probably gonna have ticks all over me again. Guys, if there's any loud noise from the mic, I've got it in my shirt pocket. And I keep brushing it with my arm. So I'm sorry if it's any loud racket. Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of stuff moving back there. I'm just gonna go. I definitely feel not welcomed. Guys, please take into consideration jumping over and sending a little bit of money towards Dee and Denny. It's not looking good for Denny. And they're struggling to even put groceries on the table. I mean, they're in a bad way. The enemy has piled it on them hardcore, and they're not having an easy go at life right now. Jeez, a lot of stuff down, blocking the road. See if I can get past this There we go. I'm going to show you the waterfall. We're not far from the truck. I thought I was further back, but I'm not. Let me try to get my screen to turn on back here. There we go. But you guys should check it out. All the rain we've had, it's really flowing. Trying to get down a little closer where you guys can see. So pretty. Shortening up my camera stick. Alright, that's enough. I'm gonna go. It doesn't feel good here at all. It does not feel inviting. We'll eventually have all this cleared though. It'll be pretty. You guys, please check the description below. I will add the link to take you to Brother Don Moore's channel. And I'll add the link to Dee's PayPal. Please consider helping Dee and Denny. They need help in a bad way right now. And if you do jump over and you to Brother Don's channel, if you're not subscribed to him, please subscribe to him. It doesn't cost anything. It has no impact on you or your channel by subscribing. If there's anybody's content that you enjoy looking at, subscribe to them. It helps them out. And guys, I'm here at the truck. I'm out of breath. I'm gonna get my stuff put up and I've got to get to work. But I love y'all. Have a good afternoon, an enjoyable day, and I'll certainly see you soon.